Everything in this bag has a specific spot and it's there for a reason. When I walk through security, I'm not digging. When I sit down at my seat, I'm not digging. And if the travel day gets complicated, I'm still fine. I pack this personal item bag by access, not by category, and that one shift changes everything about how you move through an airport. Let me show you the 3 zones. I didn't figure this out quickly. 40 years of travel, and I've stood in that security line fumbling through my bag. I've dug through that bag at 30,000 feet. I've landed exhausted and unprepared for what came next. Last month, I tested 5 personal item bags back to back, specifically to find out which ones actually work with this system. That video is linked in the description. But this one is about the system itself, because the bag only works if you know how to pack it. Here's what most of us do. We buy a personal item bag, we lay everything out on the bed, and we group it. Tech stuff together, snacks together, documents together. It looks really organized. And then you board the plane. You slide the bag under the seat, and 5 minutes later, you're on your knees digging for your headphones because they're under the tech stuff, which is under the snacks, which is under the neck pillow, or whatever is in there. Category packing makes sense at home. It doesn't work where it counts. Access packing asks a different question. Not what kind of thing this is, but when do I reach for it? And the answer to that question gives you 3 very clear zones. Zone 1 is the one that trips people up before they even get to the gate. So let's start there. Zone 1 is the outer pocket, and it has one job. It holds everything that security and boarding ask for and nothing else. ID, boarding pass, your phone, maybe your liquids bag. That's it. If I have to open the main compartment while I'm in that security line, I've already packed wrong. The outer pocket should open in one motion and hand you exactly what you need. No digging, no shuffling, no holding up the line. When I get to the gate, same thing. The boarding pass is right there. I'm not the person holding up the group while I search through my whole bag for my phone. Zone 2 is where the flight actually lives, and most people bury everything they need for it. Here's what goes there instead. Once I'm in my seat, the bag goes under the seat in front of me, and I want to be able to reach into it without unbuckling, without pulling it out, without disrupting the person next to me. Zone 2 is the compartment that makes that possible. Glasses, headphones, a snack, my water bottle, a light layer if the cabin gets cold, any medication I might need in flight. Everything that makes the next few hours comfortable lives in one place, so I can reach it with one hand. I'm not standing up, I'm not asking anyone to move. I sit down, I reach in, and I'm settled for the whole flight. Zone 3 is the one that almost no packing video covers, and it's honestly the one that changed how I travel entirely, so don't skip this part. I rarely check a bag, and this is exactly why. When I'm the one holding my bag, I'm the one in control. But Zone 3 isn't just about avoiding checked bags. It's about being completely self-sufficient, no matter what the travel day throws at you. Gate check situation, overhead bin full, connecting flight chaos. Zone 3 means you're fine. The moment the system really proved itself was a one-night pre-cruise hotel stay. I landed, checked in, and never once opened my suitcase. Everything I needed for that night and the next morning was already in this bag. I showered, I slept. I got on that ship the next day looking exactly the way I wanted to look, and my suitcase stayed zipped until I was in my cabin. That's what Zone 3 is for, not just emergencies. Intentional travel. The base of the bag holds one outfit, a small toiletry set with my non-negotiables, my chargers, and anything else I genuinely need for the next 48 hours. Not everything. The things that matter. Because when that one night hotel stay comes, or the gate agent asks you to check your carry-on, or the travel day just gets long, I want to be the person who says, I've got what I need, and means it. Before I show you the 2 bags I actually use frequently, there's one thing that makes all of this fit, and it's not a bigger bag. You don't need my exact bag. You need a bag that has these 3 spaces or zones. Here's what I look for. An outer pocket that opens fast and holds a liquid bag flat. A second compartment you can reach without pulling the whole bag out. And a base that's structured enough to hold a change of clothes without collapsing. I've been using a few bags that do this very well, and at different price points completely. One of them is an under $50 bag, and it's a backpack. And the other one is a tote bag, or I think they call it the Everywhere bag. The Everywhere bag from Away is right under $200. Occasionally they have sales, not very often. So I think the bag's worth every penny. I think the $50 bag is worth every penny, and I carry them both. I'm not completely partial to one or the other. However, I reach for both, and it depends on the trip. It depends on if I'm going to have an overnight stay. It depends on the items that I want to carry. I believe the backpack actually holds more. I know people sometimes agree or disagree, but that's just my preference. If this video is clicking for you and you want more of this kind of thing, go ahead and hit subscribe right now. I put out a new video every other week, and it's always practical, always tested, always honest, and I really use the items that I'm testifying to. Today's sponsor, well, it's me. Specifically my other channel, Building Freedom Through Real Estate, where I cover how I actually fund my travel lifestyle. The link is in the description below. If you're thinking, I always check a bag, so I don't really need this, you do. This system is actually more important for you, not less. And if you're carry-on only, the gate agent can ask you to check your carry-on at any point. The overhead bins fill up. The travel day just sometimes doesn't always go the way you planned. Your personal item is the one thing that stays with you no matter what. And Zone 3 is what makes it count. If you're thinking, my bag is too small for all of that, it's less than you think. One outfit and a small toiletry setup take up less space than most people imagine, especially when you're choosing deliberately. It's not about volume, it's about what you pick. So if you're thinking, I don't want to overpack the one bag I actually have to carry, the zones keep you disciplined. Plus, if you do carry on, you're not really carrying it, you're rolling it, but I get it. If something doesn't serve a clear moment in your travel day, it doesn't go in. The system actually helps you pack less, not more. And if you're thinking, I already have a routine that works, keep it. Seriously, but try Zone 3 on your next trip. Just Zone 3. See how you feel walking off that plane knowing you have everything you need, no matter what comes next. Everything I packed is linked in the description below at real prices. I've tested all of it personally, and if something doesn't hold up, I'll tell you. Tell me in the comments which zone you've been skipping. This video made packing feel a little calmer. Please subscribe and give it a like. Next, I'll be featuring some of the Amazon items I highly recommend to make all your travel and living a breeze. They're practical, they're tested, and as always, no fluff. Remember, pack light, travel luxe, and make no apologies. Thank you for watching.